Hello again, everyone, and welcome to For the Love of Dogs. I'm Arthur E. Benjamin, founder of American Dog Rescue, and this here, as you know, is Bandit, my co-host. Farrah White's on assignment today, so we're going to be puggled to death, I think, between Bandit and I. We're surrounded by pugs, and if you love pugs, this is the show for you. We're going to spend the entire show talking about pugs, a very interesting breed, and even being treated to a special Pugoween costume, I can't even say it, Pugoween costume fashion show. Fred Campos is the president of DFW Pug Rescue Club, and he's here today with Joanne Merriweather, who is in charge of all adoptions. So if you want to talk about adopting one of these dogs, Joanne's the person to talk to. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And welcome to all of the pugs. Look at these guys. They're just amazing. I know that you have quite a few rare ones with you today. We have a black pug, which is a very big rarity, but why don't you introduce us to the group?
So this pug on my right-hand side is named Rhodey. He was a stray. We found him on the side of the road. And as you can see by looking at his face, that he does not have any eyes. When the vet examined him, they determined that the eyes needed to be removed.
He doesn't seem to be bothered by it.
He is not. Usually a blind pug functions very well in a household as long as you don't move the furniture around a lot. So he's gained some weight, he's healthy, and he's up for adoption.
That's great.
And on the left-hand side, I have Jewel. Jewel was an owner surrender. We do get a lot of owner surrenders because of death, divorce, remarriage, relocation. We get estate sales. You know, people will pass away and they give up the pug. And right now, with the Middle East conflict going on, we get a lot of military dogs.
A lot of military people have pugs.
A lot of military people have dogs, yes. We have Dallas-Fort Worth sits right in the center of quite a few military bases. Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Fort Hood in Killeen, Fort Sam Houston down in San Antonio, Fort Polk in Louisiana. So we get calls to pick up a lot of dogs.
So are they all available for adoption?
78 pugs are available for adoption right now.
Great.
We average about 8 to 10 dogs a week, so that number can change at any time.
So 8 to 10 dogs a week, that's 400 to 500 dogs a year?
That is correct. We just closed out our books and we rescued 432 pugs in 2013.
Which makes you the biggest pug organization in the entire country.
We are the largest pug rescue in the United States.
Can you give us a little background on the club?
The club was founded in 1997, and we used July 27th as our birthday because that's when we got our articles of incorporation. Prior to that, we were in existence, but you know, we couldn't really rescue until we got incorporated, so we used that as our birthday. And one of the things about that is when we started rescuing, I started going to the shelters, you know, talking to the different shelters about rescuing dogs. And their response was, yeah, you're like a lot of rescues. You only take the young and the healthy. And I told them that we would take any dog regardless of age or medical condition. So they put us to the test. So from day one, we have rescued all dogs. I mean, all dogs regardless of age or medical condition. So that means that our veterinary bills are pretty expensive. We probably spend approximately $20,000 a month on veterinary care. So fundraising is our big event. So going back to the beginning, after 90 days, we were broke. We were broke. So we're looking for an idea to raise some money. And my original pug, Sluggo, he and I used to go around to the radio stations asking for an interview. And one day they put us on the air and they asked us, you know, what are you doing here? And said, we're trying to raise funds. And they said, how are you going to do it? And I said, well, we're going to have an event. And they said, well, what's the name of the event? No idea. Had no idea, and it was almost Halloween, so I said, it's a Pugoween. So that's how the name started. So we had our first Pugoween 90 days after we had been in existence. And this October in 2014, we're going to have our 18th annual Pugoween. To our knowledge, that's the longest running pug event in the United States.
And a Pugoween is we're going to get a little flavor on the next segment.
Absolutely.
Is a Halloween costume.
That is our Halloween costume.
That's great. Tell me before we go a little further about Pugsley. I know he's close to your heart.
Pugsley was my original pug, and he and I would go everywhere. We'd go to the shelters, we'd go everywhere, and we saw that it drew a lot of attention. So people were always asking about pugs. So our name got out a little bit, so people would always call us and say, you know, what can you tell me about pugs? Can you tell me who rescues them? So we were always turning them on to other rescue groups. Later on found out that they weren't rescuing them, the dogs were getting put down. So one of the things I thought is, well, if Pugsley means so much to me, think of how many other pugs out there mean to other people. So Pugsley became our mascot, you know, and Pugsley was good at laying on the floor being a slug, so I renamed him Sluggo. So that's where
the two names
That's where the name came from, Sluggo.
I see. So what happens when you get a pug? What's the first step in the process?
The first thing we do is the pug goes immediately to the vet clinic. We have vet clinics in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we work with, and the pug is examined. They're tested for heartworms. They have a fecal test. They're microchipped. They're completely vaccinated, and they're spayed or neutered. And then if the pug has anything wrong with them, if they're heartworm positive or something, we treat them. If they need surgery, for example, like Rhodey here, we treat that. So by the time the pug is adopted, you know, it's completely treated. The only thing they'll need is the monthly heartworm preventive tablet.
And you place pugs all over the country, not just here, right?
We have placed pugs all over the United States, in British Columbia, Canada, Japan, and Germany, Hawaii. Even though Hawaii quarantines their dogs, we were able to get special permission from the government of Hawaii to let us quarantine the dog here in the U.S. at a foster home. This way, by the time it went to Hawaii, it was, you know, it didn't have to be quarantined.
And pugs live a long time.
Pugs average anywhere from 14 to 16 years. Sometimes, you know, we'll have a rare pug that lives beyond 18 years. One of my personal pugs, Olivia, passed away last year, and she was 19 years old.
You're known for these great fundraising events that we're going to do in the next segment. We're going to do our own Pugaween contest here, and it'll be a very interesting segment. But can you tell us about the Pugapalooza project?
Yeah, what we do.
PPP.
The Project Pugway. What we do is we host all our events in the spring and in the fall because summertime is too hot for the dogs, so they can't be outside because of the breathing. So we try to focus all our events in the spring and the fall. And the spring event is called the Pugapalooza, and that's going to be held on March 29th, you know, in North Richland Hills, and that is our spring event. That's where we have the dog races. That's where we have a cookout. It's just an old-fashioned picnic with pugs. Of course, the pugs are the highlight of that. And then what we do is we have a spring fashion show, and we renamed it after the Project Runway on TV. We call it Project Pugway. And that's going to be held on May 31st, location to be determined. And then, of course, the granddaddy of all is the Pugaween. Our 18th annual Pugaween will be October 26th. We always try to have the Pugaween the Sunday before Halloween.
Great. So as we mentioned, Pugaween is their biggest event of the year. Coming up next, a look at some of the very creative costumes that took part in this year's annual event. And so with a close-up on these guys here, and the black one, which we're going to talk about a little later, is the rarest color of them. He has not made a sound or move through this whole segment, and I'm just amazed that with all the activity, he's just sitting there. Have anything to do with his color or just his disposition?
He's two.
He's
2 years old.
He's 2 years old.
And he's disabled in his back legs.
Ah, well, that's why he sits
That
so
explains.
close.
He does walk. He just recently had an MRI. He had a back injury, and his family surrendered him. And he's can't have surgery. The injury's too old. But we did do an MRI to see if we could help him. And he walks like a little drunk man, but he's a very happy, loving little boy.
That's the way Bandit started, so maybe he'll recover a bit with a little practice. Anyhow, back with that Pugaween contest in a few minutes.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I am a pet lover first.
Welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. We're talking about pugs today. That's pugs, P-U-G-S, and the DFW Pug Rescue Club is the biggest pug rescue in the country. They're also the host of one of the biggest animal fundraisers of the year. Pugoween takes place the Sunday before Halloween, and as you can see, pugs come dressed up in their finest costumes. We've asked Fred to stick around and show us some of these very creative costumes. Fred, how did Pugoween come about?
Well, like I said earlier, we were looking for a way to raise money, so we had our first Pugoween, and it was on a cold October day. The Cowboys were playing, it was pouring rain, we didn't have a facility, so we rented a local facility in Irving and started our Pugoween. At the very first one, we had 90 people that attended and 40 pugs.
How much did you raise?
I don't remember, that's been 18 years ago, but...
oh, come on, venture a guess.
Back then, probably, I'd say maybe $200, $300.
And how much do you raise today?
$20,000 is approximately what we raise.
That's
now,
great.
From the first Pugoween, we had 90 people. Today, we bring in approximately 1,000 people.
How many dogs in costumes?
We have about between 400 and 500 dogs in costumes. So we take over the convention center.
Okay. And you brought us a ton of pugs in their costume today. So as the dogs walk through, can you tell us a little bit about their outfit or the dog or something that would be fun? And it's sort of Pugoween costume show. Here we go.
All right.
And the first dogs are...
Well, we have a Pope Pug, and we also have the Angel that goes with them.
Now we're getting pretty sacrilegious, especially when she's wearing a Pug a Secret outfit.
That's it. That's it. Well, one of the things that we tell our participants is to be creative. And as you can see, these two costumes were made, and they chose a theme that, you know, I wouldn't have thought of, but, you know, we have a Pope Pug. And at the Pugoween, you know, he had his Pope-mobile, his Pug-mobile. And of course the Angel's with him, and we have little fawn and a little black pug. And as mentioned earlier, the little black pugs are rare.
Now, is Pope Pug's name Francis?
It can be.
I see. Well, that's being very creative, and I think that Pug a Secret outfit on the Angel is really an attractive distraction.
But one of the things we didn't have room for is to bring the Pope-mobile with us, but you know, you can see the costume is very creative, it's handmade.
Wow.
And
they're great. Let's take a look at the next pug.
Thank you.
Come on out. Now this is truly a today topic here, adventure. Anybody could guess the name of this dog, but why don't you tell us?
Well, it's not Princess Leia. It is Miley Cyrus, Miley Puggus. She's a rock star, and as you can see, you know, she's got her little tongue hanging out, and she's got her makeup on. She's got her #1 finger. Would you hold that up? There you go. I'm #1. Pugs are #1.
Well, Miley, you're going to sing something for us now? I think she's sticking to the tongue act.
I think she's going to just hold the tongue and just smile at everybody and take in all the admiration.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next we have a favorite for Dallas.
Absolutely. You couldn't have a football fan without it being the Dallas Cowboys. And as you can see, number 00, he's ready for the long Hail Mary touchdown. And as you can tell by our costumes, everything can be from just a simple little costume like a t-shirt like this one, or a custom-made costume. So the Pug-A-Ween is open to all dogs, all pugs. We have some wannabe pugs that do participate. We just have bull mastiffs, bulldogs, and labs that do come in and try to pass off as pugs.
Do you think we could get Bandit to pretend to be a pug?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, thank
very much.
And here we come with our next pug. She's crawling out here.
This is our Spider. We got a purple spider, look at her. Black pug and a purple spider. Nice costume.
I like the feet.
Absolutely.
1, 2, how many feet does a spider pug have?
Well, a spider has 8 feet, but as you can tell, we got more than that.
Well, we got 10 feet on this guy.
10 feet spider, it's unique. Pugs are unique, so that's our little spider there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Spider. And our next 3.
We have 3 pugs. One of the things that is unique about this triplets is that 2 of them are blind pugs. And as you can see, the little dog walking, the top hat pug is a blind pug and gets along really good. The other one's Kermit the Frog, and I can't see what the other one is.
Oh, well, he's, I can't tell what he is. Ernie.
Ernie.
Oh, it's Ernie.
Bert and Ernie, yeah.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anything about this little top hat magician down here who can do any tricks?
Unfortunately not. He's just going to stand in front of the camera.
I think his trick is walking on stage without any sight. This is pretty amazing.
But the thing to remember is just because a pug can't see, a pug can't walk, does not exclude them from participating in their Pug-A-Ween. So we have a lot of dogs that do come in carts. A lot of dogs are carried. You know, some dogs unfortunately don't want to walk, so they like to be dragged across the stage. So that's okay.
Well, Bandit's going to make me go out and get him a little child carrier himself, or a pug parrot carrier. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And our next one is, looks like to me, we're going to be needing some cheese for this guy.
Absolutely. Well, this guy is dressed for the occasion. It's cold outside, and he's got all of his covering.
Hey, Spud.
And his name is Spuds, and he's carrying his load of potatoes. Oh, he found a friend there. But as you can see, Spud has his own costume. It's homemade, looks really nice. And at our Pug-A-Ween we have different categories. So, you know, Spud would probably be in one of those categories.
Well, Mr. Potato Head.
As you can see, Spud's got one eye missing. And as mentioned earlier, you know, the pugs can do really well without eyes. So if they're blind, that's not a problem.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Spud.
Thank you for Spud.
And our next little pug has a unique costume. I'm not sure what to make of it.
I don't know if that's Count Dracula or if he's
Count
just...
Pugula.
Pugula, yes, but he's got a pumpkin on his head in celebration of the Pug-A-Ween. Come on, buddy, go up there. Smile at the camera. There we go. He's got his cape ready to fight, ready to do Pug-A-Ween costume. Look at the camera, look at the camera. There we go. And he's a little fawn pug. Thank you very much.
All right, and our next pug, what's your name? Okay, well, thank you for being here. And this is the Princess Pug.
Princess Pug, our little flower child. She's dressed in a pretty pink dress. Happy little dog. And she's got a nice little escort.
Come on, turn around, little girl. Turn around, turn around. Over here. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Fred, thank you so much for bringing, that must have been like 20, 30 dogs.
We brought 40 dogs with us today, so.
Wow, and they're so quiet, and so they get along so well. Thank you for bringing all these great costumes to give us a taste of Pug-A-Ween.
Absolutely. Well, you know, pugs are lap dogs. They want to be with you all the time, so they don't bark. As you saw, they're pretty mellow, pretty docile. They're not going to go out and run with you. They're not going to chase. They're not going to fetch. They just want to be with you all the time.
Okay. Well, if you want to take part in this year's event, it's October 26th, the Sunday before Halloween at the Grapevine Convention Center.
That's correct.
And it's 11 to 4. And if you want to find out about Pugoween and the DFW Pug Rescue Club online by visiting their website, it's dfwpugs.com. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and even on Instagram. Next up, our rescue story of the week. So stay with us.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family. But for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Now it's time for our rescue story of the week. But before we do, I want to introduce a friend who was in the area, heard about the Pugoween contest, a friend of Bandits and mine, my co-executive producer on the film Jobs, and a good friend, Sherry Dieterling, and her husband Jeff Hawks is at home with the kids so that she could be here today and catch the end of our show. She's taking care of Bandit today, and we're going to go to the story of the week. Welcome.
Thank you, Arthur.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Joanne Merriweather is back, and she's with Brent Sassley, who tell us that Ranger Boy and Joshua have great stories. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, tell us their stories. Tell us about Ranger Boy to start.
Ranger came to us in the spring, and he had very bad skin problems. He had virtually no hair. He was constantly itchy. He had yeast infection. He had a little bit of respiratory problems. He had some ear problems, and he was extremely uncomfortable. And so we had to nurse him back to health. We had to give him special baths. We had to get him back to normal weight. And he became very comfortable, and you can see that he's quite happy.
He looks amazing. He doesn't look uncomfortable. He doesn't look itchy. I think he's grown a tie, but other than that, he seems to be doing good.
He's doing very, very well, actually. He's really comfortable now. He sleeps through the night. When we first had him, he couldn't because he was always scratching. But now he's very, very happy. He loves to eat. And so he's just doing really, really well.
Well, I need some of his medication so I can sleep through the night. Tell us about Joshua.
Joshua, about 4 years ago, I got a call from Sue, our foster coordinator, and she asked me if I could foster a little boy that was having some problems with his skin. And I told her, of course, I'll go get him. And when I went to go pick him up, they brought him out to me at the clinic wrapped in a towel. And all I seen was these two huge amber eyes.
Aww,
he had no hair at all. He had sores on his whole body. He was completely emaciated. His skin hang off of him. He looked like a Shar-Pei. He did not look like a pug.
So as the adoption coordinator, what does it make you feel like to see these two dogs today?
It's the most rewarding thing ever. The most rewarding thing ever is
What success
watching.
stories? They're just amazing. I just can't believe how they've both grown ties, though. I mean, can I get some of that medication to sleep? I really could use it. Joanne, thanks so much for sharing Ranger Boy's story and Joshua's stories, and thanks to Fred Campos for everything he does for the DFW Pug Rescue Club. It's amazing. If you want to learn more about For the Love of Dogs, visit us online at AmericanDogRescue.org or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And before we end, I just want to ask Sherry, seeing all these pugs in Halloween costumes when you were walking in, how did it feel?
Oh my goodness, it's such a holiday. It's so exciting and fun.
I know, and they have this great event that I'm going to get right, October 26th. It's the Sunday before Halloween, where you can see dogs dressed like that and actually have a great time. So,
yeah, I think the kids would love it too.
yeah, I think it would be great for kids. And I think that it's amazing to see animals who have been so hurt, abused, and sick be so healthy and well cared for because of volunteers and staff members like yourself. Thank you so much. For all of us at The Love of Dog, thanks for watching. Thanks for DFW Pug Rescue being with us today. And as Bandit always says, we'll see you next time.